Through the generous contribution of Dr. Lewis's family, we're very fortunate to be able to share with you these timeless recordings of Dr. M. W. Lewis, a self-realized American yogi. Dr. Lewis was Paramahansa Yogananda's first American disciple and dearest personal friend. The wisdom Dr. Lewis imparts through these teachings will give you a dynamic and practical insight into the ancient science of yoga as taught by Paramahansa Yogananda. This lecture's title is Can Religion Be Scientific? And was delivered in San Diego, California on July 27, 1956.
And so our subject this morning, I will not keep you too long, is can religion be scientific? Can religion be scientific? True religion can be scientific. Not dogmatic religion. True religion can be scientific because the universality of religion is scientific. That's the point. And to know God is the science of all sciences. Realize that the universality of religion is that which is scientific, not dogmatic religion. Religion means that which binds us to God, or binds us to the great spiritual consciousness beyond this body. That is true religion, not dogmatic religion. That can be scientific. Now, in the ordinary sciences, there must be something that's common to everybody, a universal experience. And so in the ordinary sciences of physics, chemistry, astronomy, atomic sciences, relativity, in that you will find something that's common to everyone. But it's common to sensation, intellect, mind, inference, and reason. Now realize that. In physics, for instance, we see a flash of lightning, and then after a certain length of time we hear the noise. And so we know that there's a certain distance by taking the time between the flash and the sound. Those things are common to all experience. Everybody sees that flash of lightning and hears that, and they can compute through inference the distance between the flash and the sound. That's just one illustration. We can take sodium and chloride, put them together, and we get common salt. That's a common experience, a universal experience. And in relativity, of course, we have many things that are not exactly easy to understand, but they are known through sensation, intellect, inference, and so forth. And so there is a universal point upon which science can be understood, and the order and arrangement of events can be known universally. Just like when that lightning flash takes place, the sound comes and everybody can see and hear it and realize what it means, the underlying law of physics and so forth. Relativity, of course, is quite an intricate thing to understand, but nevertheless, it's events. The events of relativity can be understood by everybody through sensation and through mind and intellect and inference and reason. And so you see there's a common ground. And we will find as we go along that in religion there's a universal understanding. There's a universality of religion. That is scientific, not the orthodox religion. Now, if there is a universal understanding in the ordinary sciences, is there such a thing in religion? Yes, there is, in true religion. But realize this difference. In the sciences, they are understood by sensation and by thought, by intellect, and by inference and reason. Now realize that one point. But in true religion, the universality of true religion is understood not by sensation, mind, and intellect, and reason, but by intuition. Intuition is the soul's knowing, cognizing power. It is that which understands the universality of religion. Now, if you take religion in that light, the universality of religion, it is absolutely scientific, because to know God is the science of all sciences. That's why you can't fool around with meditation and go to sleep, dream about other things. No, you don't get God that way. To have God contact, you must be very scientific. And to be very scientific, you have to use your intuition. You cannot know God by outward means, by the senses, by the mind, and by the intellect. But by the soul's power, which comes when you mean business with God, when you become really scientific and not dream away your time, then you will find the universality of religion right there waiting for you, and you will find it to be absolutely scientific. Why? Because everybody, irrespective of color, race, or creed, sees the same thing through intuition. Now you can see why religion can be scientific. Every one of you here. I don't care who you are or where you come from. If you look in the right place and still the ways of the mind, you will see the same thing that I see or the greatest saint ever saw. The presence of God as the spiritual eye at this point. That's the universality of religion. It is as simple as that. But look at the churches, look at the dogma, look what goes on between the Baptists and the Methodists and the Presbyterians and the hard-shelled and soft-shelled Baptists and everything. Well, what is it? Dogma. That's not scientific. But each one of those hard-shelled Baptists or soft-shelled Baptists or any of them, if you sit them down and quiet their mind, they will see the same light of God at this point. That's the universality of religion. Try and tell them that. Watch out, you'll have to start running unless you follow their dogma and their creed and so forth. And so there is a comical side to it, to this dogma. We might as well face it, it's there, but don't get caught in it. Now, for instance, let us take, for instance, God. God. We read in the Bible Jesus' words, I and my Father are one. Jesus said that. All right, that's one aspect of it. That's the dogmatic aspect. Jesus said so, it must be so. All right, you follow that. But the universality of God is this, that if you look at this point, you will see the spiritual eye. You'll see the spiritual light. And the master told me one time when he was leaving Boston, and I said, what am I going to do, sir? You're going away. He says, never mind what happens to me. That light which you see is far greater than I am. That's God himself. Now that's the universality of religion. That's the scientific aspect of religion. Jesus said, I and my Father are one. When he said that, he spoke from God's consciousness in him.